we've heard there's a lot of stuff going on social media. We've asked people to be very clear about, particularly with information related to the virus, to make sure that they're getting good information. Some of those calls are based on trying to suggest that the data that we have in North Dakota would indicate that we're somehow putting our neighboring states at risk, or that we're not being responsible by having more government mandated action. And so we just want to run through a few numbers. And the first of all is it'd be good for people to understand what our positive percent rate is. This is the percentage of new cases that come in that test positive out of the tests that we're taking. Today, 12 new cases out of 353 tests. And when I say today, this was just in a little less than a 9-hour period from yesterday between 3 p.m. and midnight. That if we go back and we take a look at our rate for the entire time, the 159 positives out of nearly 5,000 tests, that's a positive rate of 3.2%. We're tied for the fourth lowest of all the 50 states. The only states with a lower rate are Hawaii, New Mexico, Alaska. We're tied with South Dakota and Vermont at 3.2, and Minnesota's rate slightly higher than us at 3.2 or 3.3%, slightly higher. But we're among the best states. When I mean saying best, meaning in terms of we have a low percentage of positives relative to tests. What does that mean? Does it necessarily mean that we've got less of a spread, or does it mean we're doing a better job of testing? Part of the answer is it means we're doing a better job of testing, and we'll take a look at that next, where we've completed 5.9 tests per 1,000 population, and that's similar to other proactive states that are with high testing and low positives. Utah would be ahead of us, New Mexico at 6.3, Hawaii at 6.3. So again, we're in the top 10, and with the plans that we got in place, we want to stay in the top 10 and keep moving up towards number 1 in terms of really doing a great job on testing. So again, success here depends on slowing the spread of the virus. And if somebody is saying, oh, North Dakota's got more tests per capita than Minnesota, well, we've done almost twice as many tests per capita as Minnesota. So, of course, we're going to have more positives per capita because we're doing more testing per capita. But again, key here is for everybody following the rules about keeping physical distance is the number one thing we want to spread or stop doing. And on that, it was mentioned to me today on one of the calls that in some of our smaller communities or counties where there's no positives reported yet, doesn't mean that the virus isn't there. And if somebody thinks that going to the Senex and having coffee with 9 people sitting closely together with your old crowd and they have less than 10, then you're following the rules. No, it's less than 10 people and everybody that's there is more than 6 feet apart. Or if you're having coffee at the Senex and then you head over to the elevator and talk to a different group of 8 or 9 people, again, you could be in a position where you're a spreader and may not even know it, because again, you can be asymptomatic, meaning no symptoms, and spread it. So again, even in our communities where you may think it hasn't reached you yet, please act as if it's already there, because the data on the testing is at least 10 days behind and also underreports the number of positives.